I thought superhero movies were on a decline, but this right here gotta be the rock bottom for superhero movies. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes, 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Better get the cool slow, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Just after the weekend where The Flash flopped at the box office, Sony has decided to release a trailer for its new anti-hero superhero movie, Kraven the Hunter. Now, Sony believes that they can go out here and make franchises out of the members of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery after the success of the Venom movies, and they have decided to try to make Kraven the Hunter the latest anti-hero that they're going to try to create in the mold of Venom and Morbius. Unfortunately, this Kraven the Hunter trailer borders on hilarious, and the production values are so bad that they remind me of many of the adaptations of the Incredible Hulk movies of the late 80s, such as The Incredible Hulk Returns and The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. And in those adaptations, they made every effort to make Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno team up with a version of Thor and Daredevil that really were not true to the source material, but at least the heart was in place, but the whole overall production values bordered on ridiculous, and that's what Kraven the Hunter looks like in this trailer. Now, in this Kraven the Hunter trailer, we get a combination of epic fails in it, combining a incredibly terrible script that just goes out here and hyper masculinizes the hero with all of this talk about strength and weakness and hunting, and then we get these really shoddy visuals, this kind of wooden acting, and we get these uninspired visuals which have some of the worst CGI that I have seen in a movie since The Flash and possibly a couple of PS1 PlayStation games. Because the sequence where Kraven is about to shoot at the lion that may possibly become his iconic vest is so hilarious as related to the CGI that it just makes you shake your head and wonder, is this the rock bottom as related to the superhero movie genre, or will Hollywood go out here and find a shovel and start digging deeper to take the genre further into the abyss as related to the horrificness of the storytelling? Because the superhero movie, which was at, I believe, its peak with Avengers Endgame in terms of storytelling, really, and production values, and that's questionable because I didn't really like the ethics of Avengers Endgame, we really have fallen far below that standard as related to the terms, as related to the creation of these superhero movies. And it looks like to me that the studios these days are basically taking the audience for granted and basically seeing what they can get away with at this point as related to creating these superhero movies, and they're not really focused on trying to present a high quality film to the viewers these days. No, they're just trying to see what they can get away with as related to creating a production and trying to see if they can go out here and get an easy cash grab. And that's basically what Kraven the Hunter is. It's one big cash grab as related to their movies. It's one big cash grab as related to trying to make a fast dollar. It's one big cash grab as related to trying to go out here and make some money for Sony as related to the intellectual properties as related to Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, and it really doesn't make much logical sense in terms of story as I see it, because you can't really tell a good Kraven the Hunter story without Spider-Man in it, because the whole goal of Kraven the Hunter is to go out here and try to hunt the most dangerous prey, which is what he believes to be Spider-Man, and that is all about his ego, because that was a major point of the classic Marvel story, Kraven's Last Hunt. He wanted to go out here and be able to hunt and defeat Spider-Man, and before he wound up taking his own life in that classic story. And that would have meant a far more compelling story to build on in a trilogy of movies. Unfortunately, the folks at Sony just got so greedy, they wanted to go out here and make a Kraven the Hunter movie, not understanding that a villain can only drive a story if there's a hero in it to overcome the challenge. You cannot really make a villain into an anti-hero because a villain is a bad guy. A villain's motivations are evil, and we really don't want to see a villain trying to be presented as the hero, because efforts to try to present the villain as the hero really don't work on screen. And they don't work on screen because when you try to present the villain as the hero, what happens is that the audience just doesn't have a reason to care, and the audience doesn't have a reason to care because the villain is not somebody we want to root for. Yeah, you got away with it with Venom. You possibly tried to get away with it with Morbius, but the whole thing is there is no getting away from the fact that Hollywood is desperate for dollars, and as they're desperate for dollars, what they're doing is going out here and just, again, making all sorts of really crap movies. And as they make these crap movies, they're not really thinking about their overall story, and they're not really thinking about their overall story as related to what they're presenting, and again, not thinking critically about what they're presenting. And that's the thing that really makes this whole movie about this Kraven character a big disaster, and again, just an cinematic embarrassment for the studios, and again, a embarrassment because it just makes the studio, again, look like they're just lazy. And this whole Morbius, but Kraven trailer looks like a lazy production of cut and pasted visuals, cut and pasted CGI, and again, a quick attempt to make a fast dollar on all of those comic fans, thinking they'll watch anything. But the whole thing is, why would they want to watch something that is not made with any sort of care? That's the critical question I would like to ask the Sony executives as related to things. That's the question I would like to ask them about the visuals they put in this film, because it shows that they really didn't care at all, and it shows that they didn't care at all as related to what they were presenting. And again, showing me that they really just were out here trying to, again, make that fast dollar at the hands of people, and again, taking advantage of people. And that's what's really sad about these superhero movies. The entire genre has turned from an art form to a cash grab, and we are at the point where the studios are basically scraping the bottom of the barrel and showing how little they care about the audience to give them a quality film. So I look at this Kraven the Hunter trailer, and I don't see a reason to go to see this movie in October. When I look at this movie, I see another one of those movies that the studios take out to the garbage and toss out in the trash. And they toss it out because they know that the film is of extremely poor quality, and that's what this Kraven the Hunter movie looks like. And again, when I look at this film, I see it as a low point for the superhero movie genre, if not the rock bottom point for the superhero movie genre, because this is the type of movie that the studios used to produce back in the late 80s in order to make a fast buck, like the 1989 Captain America movie, where they don't even regard the source material, and they don't even regard the source material to the point where you've got Captain America with rubber ears, you've got the Red Skull, who's Italian, and just an overall terrible movie. And again, it's sad to see the superhero movie genre fall to this depth after rising to such high standards with movies like Iron Man, Captain America, the first Avenger, Thor, and the Avengers, and the entire Dark Knight trilogy. and movies like Joker. I mean, we had some really great movies during that golden age of superhero movies, but it's clear that that era has come to a close, and now we are at a point where superhero movies are in the doldrums because Kraven the Hunter shows us how cowardly these executives are. They are just about the box office, but with movies like this, there won't be a box office for superhero movies any longer. Now, if you want to pick up my first comic, John Haynes at Death's Door, you can get your own paper copy on lulu.com by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of the action-packed fantasy fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the Esteem series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my sorority novel, The Thetas, my vampire novel, Eternal Night, or my romance novel, Recipe for Success, you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Smashworth, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me be able to produce another comic like John Haynes at Death's Door, or put covers on great SJS Direct books, or be able to make more videos about comic book movies or comic books, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available on Lulu, John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes comic book. Get your copy of the first John Haynes comic at lulu.com today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.